Students, let's continue with our economics first chapter, demand analysis of grade 12. In this video, we are going to start from change in demand and change in quantity demanded. Change in demand, in other words, we can say change in demand means shift in demand curve. The line can either get shifted towards left or towards right. So, shift in demand curve from A to B. You can see in the diagram the line is moving from A to B. This is called as expansion or extension in demand, that is increase in demand. And next you can see shift in demand curve from C to B. So from C to B the position is moving towards left. That means it is saying about the decrease in demand, or they are saying contraction in demand. We have already understood similar kind of a graph we have done before when we were understanding about the market demand curve. This is a similar demand curve. Next we are having change in quantity demanded or movement along the demand curve. Here we are not thinking that the price is fixed, whereas change in demand we are considering the price is fixed, the price of a commodity is fixed, whereas the other factors, maybe the income, the taste, the preferences, or maybe the substitute goods, all these are prices. Other factors are changing where the price is fixed and the other factors are changing. Then we are getting change in demand or shift in demand. But we are now coming to change in quantity demanded. Here the price is changing and the demand is also equally changing. As all of us know that the increase in price will lead to decrease in demand, right? So as you have already understood this picture long before, I have explained you this graph also before. So it is saying about the same thing, movement along the demand curve. How is it happening? Change in quantity demanded or movement along the demand curve. This means that you can see the line, this dd is the demand curve and the points are KL. So from K it is coming to L, right? From L it will again come down. So it is saying us about the movement along the demand curve. Now what are the factors that are responsible for this kind of change? Consumer preference, as I was telling you, consumer preference, income, price of other commodities, okay, expectation about future prices, number of potential consumers, then public policies. All this have been discussed before. I have already told in my previous video. If you have any kind of difficulty, you can get back to that video and listen to it once again. Okay, next we are coming to the concept of measuring utility. First we have to understand what is the meaning of this term utility. I have again made a summary for you so that you can understand it in a very short and a very clear concept you'll get. Utility means the want satisfying power of a commodity is called its utility. So utility means what is the usefulness. If any commodity is not useful to you, that means it is not having any utility to you. Okay, what is the usefulness? How is it satisfying you? That is saying its utility part. So many of them have said utility can be measured, and many before that, when the economists were there, they used to never thought that utility can be measured. But in the one of the cardinal theorists, that is Alfred Marshall told yes, it can be measured, and they have divided this into two categories. You can see we have divided it. The measurement can be divided in two categories. One is the cardinal, one is the ordinal. So Alfred Marshall have told utility of a commodity is measured with cardinal numbers. What are the cardinal numbers? The numbers we use like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and so on and so forth. All these are the cardinal numbers. So Alfred is saying if you buy a pencil, then you can say what is its utility. Out of 10, if somebody asks you out of 10 what is the utility of the pencil, you can easily say okay, the utility is 2, the utility is 3 for us now. So Alfred Marshall is saying it is possible to understand or explain our utility in numeric way. In numeric numbers, by using the cardinal numbers, we can say what is the utility of that commodity to a consumer. Again, the ordinal measurement, they are saying it is not possible for a person if you're holding a pencil and saying that yes, the utility is only 2 out of 10. It will be easier for a consumer to rank it if we give them a bundle of commodities or maybe 2 commodity. So if a pencil is given to a consumer along with a pen, and we say which is having more utility to you, then that person can easily rank and say yes, I will prefer the pencil as first and the pen as second. So they can rank their preferences. This is the ordinal. From here we are getting order or rank. Okay, order or rank of the commodity according to the utility. Compare between different commodities, that is first, second, third, fourth, fifth. This many of the economists have accepted that yes, ordinal measurement is applicable. We can actually use the ordinal measurement. Okay. Further, we can understand that there are many other ways also of measuring the utility. One is the total utility, one is the average utility, and the other is the marginal utility. Okay, total utility, average utility, and marginal utility. Total utility means the total utility consumer gets after consuming the total commodity. For example, 5 glasses of water you have consumed. So you can say, if somebody is asking you what is the utility to you of this 5 glasses, you are saying 10 units. 10 units of utility I can rank. That is, whenever we download an app, we start marking the stars, right? In a similar way, if somebody is giving you 5 glasses of water and out of 10, you are saying I'll give 10 because I am fully satisfied. So what is the utility? Total utility means the total amount of satisfaction you got after having the entire commodity or the entire good. That is 5 glasses of water, you are having 10 units of utility. Okay, next they are saying about the average utility. The average utility is per unit of the commodity consumed. The utility per unit of commodity consumed. You can see I have done this in a little bit mathematical. You have to understand, it's very simple. That is 5 glasses was having 10 units of utility. This is the total utility we have considered. So they are saying how to find out the average utility. 10 units of utility divided by the commodity, that is 5 glass of water. So if we just divide it, we are getting 2 units. So averagely we are saying that every glass is having 2 units of utility. This is the average utility. One glass is having 2 units of utility. Next we are saying about the marginal utility. Change in utility with addition of 1 unit of commodity. Change in utility with addition of 1 unit of commodity. For example, again we took the 5 glass of water is having 10 units of utility. Now 1 glass got added to it, 6 glass of water. You are saying the after having 6 glass of utility, I will rank that it is having 11 units of utility to me. So what is the marginal utility? We have to subtract the present utility from the before total utility we got, that is 11 minus 10. So what is the utility we are getting? 1 unit of utility. So we can say the 6th glass, this additional glass, gave you only 1 unit of utility. You can see in the book also there is a tabular form presentation where they are saying us what is the utility and how can we measure the utilities. So you can see in this diagram or in this tabular representation, they are saying us that number of cups of tea. One person is taking 1, 2, 3, 4 till 8. 8 cups of tea that person is consuming or having. So what is the total utility? When the person is having 1 cup of tea, that person is saying I am having 12 utility. And when the person is having 2 cups, that is first he had 1, next he is taking the second cup. So he is saying when he is having 2 cups, he is having the total utility as 20. Total utility as 20. So he is adding. How much is he adding? He is adding 8 units. So 12 in the total utility, if we add 12 plus 8, then only you are getting 20. So he is adding some value. You can see in the marginal utility now. So the second cup is having 20. That means what is the marginal utility? As 1 unit got added, as 1 unit, 1 cup got added, as 1 cup was consumed, then 8 units got added and the total utility became 20. So what is the average? The average they are saying us, it is for the second one is 10. Why it is 10? Because total utility and divided by the number of cups. Total utility divided by number of cups, we are getting the average utility. And what is the marginal utility? The total utility of the first thing consumed and the second thing consumed, we are just subtracting it. Then we are getting the marginal utility. Okay, next we are having the law of diminishing marginal utility. Diminishing means which is decreasing. Slowly it is decreasing. As you can see from here also, we can try to understand that as the person is consuming more and more cups of tea, that utility of that product or that commodity to the consumer, it is also decreasing slowly. This is called law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay, this is diminishing. You can see in the marginal utility column also, the total utility is also decreasing and the marginal utility is also decreasing. Why they are saying diminishing law of diminishing marginal utility? Because as we are adding one cup and the utility of that cup is decreasing. Okay, let us take an example. I would like to explain it to you with an example. Suppose you came from school and you opened the fridge and took 1 glass of water. The first glass you come from sunny weather outside, you'll feel that it is very satisfying to you, and you'll say that okay, the first glass have gave me satisfaction maybe of 10 units. Okay, then as you take the second glass, you will say okay, now I am feeling better, and the utility of the second glass, we are not adding, we are not saying 2 glasses, we are saying the second glass. The second glass is giving you maybe 9 units of satisfaction. The third glass, you will say now 7 or 6. Then after that again one more glass, you will say now I am feeling like this glass is 2 units of utility. And after that, if somebody will give you will say I don't need it, I had 4-5 glasses of water, now I don't need it. Okay, this is law of diminishing marginal utility. As you will consume more and more of that commodity, the utility of that commodity will decrease. Okay, the consumer will not feel like having it anymore or consuming it anymore. So if we try to analyze it more, there are some exceptions also. In case of joint demand, I have explained in the previous video what is the meaning of joint demand. Joint demand means whenever you are buying something, the addition, another commodity is coming in demand. For example, a motorbike. If you buy a motorbike, the petrol will automatically come under the demand. So they are saying in joint demand, this law of diminishing marginal utility doesn't work. And there are few more exceptions like that. For example, the law of diminishing marginal utility will not come to the person those who are addicted to alcohol, maybe tobacco, maybe to drugs. All these products, as they are consuming more, they are getting addicted more. So it is not law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay, they are adversely affect, it is having a negative effect on them. So law of diminishing marginal utility doesn't consider this kind of cases or this kind of matters. This kind of typical cases they are not taking under consideration. Next we are having forces behind the law of diminishing marginal utility, or why the demand curve is downward sloping. We have already discussed this before. It is income effect and substitution effect. If the product is able to be substituted, then there is a downward sloping curve. The income effect of the, I told you about the normal goods, about the inferior goods, we have came across this much. So there is one more exception we have to understand. However, the law of diminishing marginal utility can explain the negative slope or the downward slope of the demand curve, but it cannot explain us the abnormal shape or the upward rising or the positive effect of the demand curve. We have already studied in our previous video. Once again I am repeating that there is a upward slope or upward rising demand curve. So regarding those kind of incidents or those kind of matters is not being explained by this law of diminishing marginal utility. In this book you will find there is a tabular representation. Once again, this tabular representation is showing us about the units, that is a quantity, the total utility, the marginal utility, and how are we calculating it. So this is being represented here, and let us end the video here, and in the next video we will start with the same topic but with different subtopics. Thank you.